Welcome back, viewers. You are watching Insight, and we are debating issues related to Brexit. The next question I have with Pawan is, Pawan, how do you see the movement in the pound value? Because pound हमेशा से एक बहुत strong currency रही world over. लेकिन ब्रेक्जिट के बाद से हम देख रहे हैं कि पाउंड जो है वो 10% के करीब जो है उसमें डिक्लाइन आया है. तो क्या हम दुनिया को ये मैसेज दे रहे हैं कि पाउंड स्ट्रॉन्ग करेंसी नहीं है या हमारी इकोनॉमी इतनी स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं है? ट्रेडिशनली पाउंड हैज़ बीन अ वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग करेंसी एंड इज द करेंसी which people say is the currency for the safety basically.
Very good question. After the pound has been strong जब तक we were in Europe because the money we were making was linked to Europe. अभी हम लोगों को कह रहे हैं that we are not sure who we are, what we're doing, what is the way forward. And up and until we decide what path we choose, why would somebody want to invest further into the currency? The currency was the day that the vote came out.
23rd June
and
2016, yes.
Some people were happy that we left, some weren't. That very day the markets answered themselves and the value dived. A year later we then had an election which again didn't go as planned. So right now, up and until the UK says this is who we are, this is how we are going to address Brexit, we are going to be in a situation where pound against the dollar is currently, I think, 1.3, where at one point it was $2. Pound against the euro was at 1.1.5, 1.6. Currently it's 1.1. But if you go to the airport to go on holiday, which we're not doing anyway right now, you give £100 to be changed, you get probably 90 euros right now.
Yeah, I think ये हमें देखना पड़ेगा व्यूअर्स के जो ये जो करेंसी की मूवमेंट्स हैं या पाउंड अगर अपनी वैल्यू खोया है उसकी वजह कुछ अनसर्टेनिटी भी है और अनसर्टेनिटी प्रिवेल कर रही है. ब्रेक्सिट हाँ या नहीं, डील और नो डील, वो अपनी जगह कायम है, लेकिन उसके इर्द गिर्द जो अनसर्टेनिटी है और गवर्नमेंट वो अनसर्टेनिटी को किसी तरीके से मैनेज नहीं कर पा रही, वो एक मेजर इशू बनता जा रहा है. मैं रवि से पूछूंगा, रवि आप बताएं कि स्ट्रीट पे इस वक्त क्या सिचुएशन है? लोग क्या अपनी शॉपिंग अपने नॉर्मल वो जो उनकी सिचुएशन होती थी स्पेंड करने की उसी स्प्री में हैं, या लोग थोड़े से रिट्रेंच कर रहे हैं और वो इतना कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं फील कर रहे हैं इन फ्यूचर और वो स्पेंड नहीं कर रहे हैं, और नहीं कर रहे तो क्या वजह है और उसका क्वांटम क्या है? कुछ बताइएगा आप.
well, ऐसी बात है कि जैसे हमारा बिजनेस है वो तो ब्रेड एंड बटर जो थेरेपीज लेडीज़ ने करानी है तो उन्होंने करानी है, बाल करनी है, उन्होंने बाल करनी है. सो जनरली हमारे बिजनेस इतना इफेक्ट नहीं हुआ, बट पीपल हु हैव टू स्पेंड लॉट ऑफ मनी वेदर इट्स ऑन housing or on cars or holidays, it's a different matter. Generally I think people are a bit not sure where we stand, and till that happens there is going to be this should we spend, don't spend, look around. Having said that, there are some good deals for people who want to buy houses at the moment because you know the interest rates are low. It's a different matter, but that's since the question was the effect on the road. The only thing I will say,
viewers, please do call. We are waiting for your call, and we've got an excellent panel to respond to all your Brexit questions. Sorry to.
What's so great is the number of people coming over. जो यूरोप से या दुनिया से आ रहे हैं, बहुत encouraging है. The only thing we have got to look at is the security angle. Since we had the 3 attacks this year, that has had a knock-on effect. So we've had people wanting to come and spend money here, but then also hesitant about whether to come to London. So we've got to address that issue as well.
आफ्ताब, इनकी बात को कंटिन्यू करूं. आपने जो स्ट्रीट्स की बात की है, the people on the streets as the buying or the power that you're saying that they have, they go in and they buy. They are finding the effect on their families, like the prices have gone up almost in every sector. So whether it's you go to the retail, the shops, or the services, or the hair salon, because I'm paying more now to have my hair done than I was doing it before. And the people are saying the reason it's gone up because there's so much uncertainty. Suddenly the prices have shot up for those producers that they were buying the stuff from, the ingredients from whatever the goods
I think
they
ये
were.
तो है 3% इन्फ्लेशन जो है वो बढ़ा है, और उसकी वजह से आई थिंक उसमें नॉक-ऑन इफेक्ट दो चीज़ों से हुआ है. उसकी आपकी जो इनपुट कॉस्ट है, व्यूअर्स मैं आपको बताता चलूँ कि इनपुट कॉस्ट इज़ द कॉस्ट जो हम इंपोर्ट करते हैं. अगर हमारी जो वैल्यू ऑफ पाउंड जो है वो गिरती है तो इनपुट कॉस्ट कम होनी चाहिए, और इनपुट कॉस्ट जब पाउंड गिरता है तो फिर इनपुट कॉस्ट बढ़ जाती है, बिकॉज पाउंड जो है वो लेस परचेस कर सकता है किसी और कंट्री से. तो जब वो आती है तो उससे वो जो इनपुट कॉस्ट है वो जो भी हम प्रोडक्ट्स यहाँ डेवलप करते हैं उसमें जाती है और उसकी प्राइस ऊपर चली जाती है. लेटेस्ट जो फिगर्स हमें बैंक ऑफ इंग्लैंड से आए हैं और जो हमारी टीम ने रिसर्च करके बेसिकली रखे हैं कि बैंक ऑफ इंग्लैंड ये देख रहा है कि हमारी 3% तक इन्फ्लेशन बढ़ सकती है। तो 3% इन्फ्लेशन का मकसद ये है कि आपके पास इस वक्त अगर एक 100 पाउंड के जो आप चीज़ खरीद सक रहे हैं उसके लिए आपको तकरीबन 103 पाउंड खर्च करने पड़ेंगे। तो ये इन्फ्लेशन का एक सॉर्ट ऑफ पैरामीटर है जो कि इस वक्त चेंज हो रहा है और जो लेटेस्ट रिसर्च है वो ये भी इंडिकेट कर रही है कि इट वुड बी द फर्स्ट टाइम इन अ वेरी लॉन्ग टाइम देन द बैंक गवर्नर बैंक ऑफ इंग्लैंड वुड बी राइटिंग अ लेटर to the finance secretary that the inflation has gone up and he is taking measures to bring it down to the acceptable rate of 2.5 to 2% within the target set for Bank of England by the Minister of State.
Can I just before
Ravi,
you
yeah,
can I just get back to what Hina just said? I think the truth, although if you buy products, ingredients have gone up, there's no doubt about that because of the value of the pound. However, what we are finding is that there's a lot more competition there, certainly in our sector, and prices. I'm not sure in our, certainly from the surveys that we conduct, the prices are going up in the health and beauty industry, either stabilized or if anything coming down a little bit because people are operating more from home because of the uncertainties. They're working from either home or mobile, which is a great thing for the consumer. So it's not all that bad.
Alex, what's your view basically? Please go ahead.
First of all, I mean, inflation's 3%. I mean, the target's 2%. Let's not forget, in 2010, 2011, inflation was a lot higher. So it actually, if you take a long term view, inflation goes up and down like this all the time. We haven't seen any marked increases. And the other thing to point, I think it was your point, we were speaking earlier with Ravi, if you look at the long-term forecast, even Open Europe, which is a pro-Remain sort of think tank, we're saying the worst-case scenario of Brexit would be that by 2030, there may be a 2% of reduction in GDP. We had a sort of 6% reduction in GDP just in 2008 recession. We survived that. If we can survive that, I don't think. But I think actually the long-term prospect, and most people's view is the long-term prospects of Brexit are very positive because we will have the opportunity. There will be greater competition, as you said. We will be opening ourselves up to markets around the world as we negotiate trade deals, and those deals may take a bit of time, but in the long term they will come, and we will have those opportunities.
I think Alex, for my viewers, Alex का point of view था कि इन्फ्लेशन ऊपर नीचे जाता रहता है और पहले इन्फ्लेशन जो है वो 3% के करीब पहले भी जा चुका है. But issue, Alex, is this time around is that it's becoming like a perfect storm for the consumer. What is happening is that we've got the inflation on the higher side, but the wage growth is totally negative. So the people at home and as what Ravi said, the man on the street is feeling that pinch because when you got an inflation and then you got a gradual pay rise. For example, public sector workers, they had not had a pay rise for years now. So that is also an issue, which is nothing connected to Brexit directly. It was a decision made by the Cameron government early on. But that is where the real life scenario is that these things are coming together as a perfect storm. There's a bit of uncertainty, there's a bit of inflation, there's a bit of low wage growth, and people are not able to sort of really reconcile what's happening.
If I may,
please, Pawan.
what we need to look at is हम क्या करने के लिए तैयार हैं आगे जाते हुए to make our future. Yes, there are migrants who wanted to leave the country. What are we offering them? हम इनको क्या देने के लिए तैयार हैं? वो लोग यहाँ रहने क्यों हैं? If we give them a nice picture, a nice future, they will stay. At the moment, migrants are saying, well, I won't stay in the UK. I might go to Europe. I might go overseas. हमारे खुद के लोग are saying, let's go to France, let's go to Spain or Ireland.
Or Australia. New Zealand is a very favorable location.
और हाँ, cost बढ़ती जा रहे हैं. Of course, cost of petrol, the cost of bread, the cost of milk. This is what the public look at first and foremost. Not which politician is having which conversation, वगैरह वगैरह. If you want to get your house painted, painters now have post-Brexit prices. क्यों? Because people are thinking it's costing too much.
Okay.
And we have to see what are we prepared to do to work harder to make this country great. It is a great country. लेकिन हमको ये देखना होगा how we adapt our sources of income. Maybe we won't be in the same jobs, possibly. We might need to retrain. But we have to together make this country better. And not just where we are in London, but also across the country.
I think viewers, Pawan has made a very good point that we should be ready for change. Change zarur aayega. The only thing constant in life is basically change. And we cannot hide behind any situation where Brexit की वजह से हो गया या इस वजह से हो गया. Change तो आना है. और Pawan brings a very good point to the discussion that we should be open-minded about it, both on the immigration side and both how we see ourselves and retrain ourselves. My question, which comes from the recent speech, Florence speech, जो कि इस वक्त एक policy speech बन गई है UK में, और European उसको भी देखते हैं कि जो Theresa May ने Florence में कहा कि there would be a transitory 2 years deal, जिससे काफ़ी businesses को एक तरह का kind of confidence गया कि there would be a deal, we will be part of Europe for 2 years, we'll have the same privilege of trading, being part of that, and then gradually we'll come out of it, and by that time we'll be paying our bills and divorce bill, as they say, how much we need to pay to the 27 other countries. So what do you think? वो जो 2 years की transitionary deal है, क्या वो आती हुई नजर आ रही है या वो भी खो जाएगी कहीं?
The way I'm looking at it, जो recent मैंने अभी अखबार में पढ़ा था इस transition deal पे, उस पे I think
आप ये अखबार में जो पढ़ते हो तो यकीन ना किया करें.
अच्छा ठीक है, सही बात कह रहे हैं आप. नहीं, looking at the way the things are coming out, I feel we want to have a good deal. We are coming out, but we want to have a good deal, safeguarding obviously Britain, the people who are living in here, and safeguarding their rights and everything. But if it doesn't go according to what Theresa May wants to have, because ultimately she has this upper hand, then there will be no deal. And if there is no deal, then there's no transition period. So there is an uncertainty. It will remain like this until we know exactly which way we are going. She's a very hardcore person when she's coming on the tables. If it's her way or no way. This is how the
Does
whole
she have
people...
that strength now? Does she have that mandate? Does she have that political equity to spend on the European Union and say that she carries the mandate? Because I think the election really, in a way, depleted her situation.
She wanted a clear mandate, which wasn't there for her. So although the vote of confidence has gone down, but ultimately they are in power, and she is the Prime Minister. So she has this upper hand, and we can't move that away. And she will be the ultimate person who will take a decision. My point is, whatever we are in negotiation, it should be open to everyone. She should have all the stakeholders, all the political parties and others be part of this, not just the Prime
I think जब आप एक बहुत मेजर डील कहीं negotiate करना चाह रहे हैं तो आप अपने सारे जो basically पत्ते हैं वो टेबल पे नहीं रख सकते, because you have to kind of negotiate, move forward, move back. But I think वो चीज़ हो भी नहीं पा रही इस वक्त जो.
Not to the people. I understand. Exactly your point कि आप सब चीजें नहीं दिखा सकते क्योंकि आप एक obviously negotiation table पे जा रहे हैं deal के लिए. But she should share that with the MPs, who will be giving ultimately the vote of confidence.
I'll come back to you on that vote of confidence. Ravi, what are you?
What I would say here is, see, we're so bogged down into thinking, what's
क्या हो रहा है, कैसे?
Confidence. I think let's think this with fresh pair of eyes.
Yeah.
Look around the world, see what other countries are doing, and is there something that Britain can be doing which would work? So you may think of countries like China or India or Australia, New Zealand, but I think I look at South Korea. South Korea is a small country. They manufacture cars like Hyundai, and you've got the Samsung, and look how successful they've become. So why can Britain not be another country like that? So I think our focus should be, okay, if things are going to change, and it's true we don't know what the divorce bill is going to be, or this 20 billion, 50 billion, we are going to be suffering. There's no doubt about it. And as we've heard, we may all have to change our profession. Some people have to look at different ways of doing things. Definitely, because I think the next 30 years or so, we're going to be seeing so many changes, and we're going to have to look at Britain PLC as to what is our strengths, where the service industries were the strengths. If they're going to be depleted, then we've got to look at other ways, products.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Alex.
And I want to come in here because we're going to see change whatever happens. We're looking at long-term trends where artificial intelligence is going to take a lot of manual jobs, a lot of the service sector jobs anyway. So we need to be competitive. And I think this is, we will be more competitive with Brexit. And I think also, we need to be more generally just positive about ourselves. We need to have this confidence. And I look at some of the Remain politicians and all I see, they're dragging down the country, frankly. I'm not saying specifically the Lib Dems, but also people in the Tory party like Anna Soubry and Kenneth Clarke and Michael Heseltine and George Osborne, who obviously publishes the Evening Standard, which we all get free on the tube every evening, and every day without fail there's some anti-Brexit propaganda story, frankly. And it's not good. It's not good because that is affecting things negatively as well. Actually, there are a lot of opportunities, and the reality is we have had a lot of businesses in movie. We had Google, we've had Nissan. I think it was today, Boeing have announced that they're going to open a new factory in Sheffield, the first in Europe, making Boeing 737 and 777 parts. So this is all positive news, and I think let's not forget that most of the countries in the world are not in the EU. The 10 biggest, most economically successful cities in the world are all outside of the EU. And so Switzerland does extremely well. It's not, inside the EU. So, I think we should stop being so pessimistic and be more optimistic.
I think on that positive, just a minute, on that point, what नाजरीन जो एलेक्स ने कहा कि हमें पॉजिटिविटी चाहिए, ब्रेक्सिट में से हमें कोई चीज़ बेहतर निकालनी है और दुनिया यूरोपियन यूनियन से बाहर भी है. So on that note, we'll go for a break now. Stay with us and we'll debate and we'll get an insight.